Imagine being told that your face is not good enough for television. Imagine being removed from your job because someone decided you were too emotional, too dark, too different. Imagine growing up so poor that you wore dresses made from potato sacks to school every single day, while other children laughed at you, while teachers doubted you, while the world looked through you like you didn't exist. Now imagine that same little girl becoming the most powerful woman in the history of television, worth almost $3 billion, touching the lives of over 100 million people every single day. This is not imagination. This is not a dream. This is the true story of a woman who had every reason to give up and chose every single day to keep going. Her name is Oprah Winfrey. And by the time this story is over, you will never see your own struggles the same way again. Stay with me. January 29, 1954. A baby girl is born in Kosciuszko, a small rural town in Mississippi. There is no celebration. There is no fanfare. There is barely enough food to feed the family. Her mother, Vanita Lee, is just 18 years old, unmarried, struggling, scared. Her father is not there. The little girl is named Oprah. But from the very beginning, life makes it clear that this child's path will not be easy. Oprah spends her earliest years in extreme poverty, living with her grandmother on a farm with no running water, no indoor bathroom, no comfort, no luxury. Her grandmother is strict. Her grandmother is hard. But she teaches little Oprah one thing that will change her life forever: how to read. By the age of 3, Oprah Winfrey could read. By the time she started school, she had already read so much that her teacher moved her straight from kindergarten to first grade, then from first grade directly to third grade. Even as a tiny child, even with nothing, Oprah was extraordinary. But the world was not ready to celebrate her yet, because what was coming next was darker than anything a child should ever have to face. At age 6, Oprah is sent to live with her mother in Milwaukee, and this is where her childhood truly falls apart. The family is desperately poor. They live in a cramped, crowded apartment. Oprah wears clothes made from potato sacks. Other children mock her. Other children laugh at her. She has no friends. She has no stability. She has no safety. And then, something happens that Oprah would not speak about publicly for over 30 years. At the age of 9 years old, Oprah Winfrey is abused by a family member she trusted. The abuse continues for years. Nobody helps her. Nobody protects her. Nobody saves her. She carries this pain alone. In silence. In shame. In confusion. At 13 years old, Oprah runs away from home. At 14 years old, she becomes pregnant. The baby is born prematurely and does not survive. Oprah Winfrey is 14 years old. She has already experienced more pain than most people face in an entire lifetime. She is broken. She is lost. She is alone. And if this story ended here, nobody would blame her for giving up completely. But this story does not end here. At 14, Oprah is sent to live with her father, Vernon Winfrey, in Nashville, Tennessee. And this changes everything. Vernon Winfrey is strict. Vernon Winfrey has rules. Vernon Winfrey demands excellence. He makes Oprah read one book every week. He makes her write reports on what she learned. He pushes her. He challenges her. He refuses to let her settle. And for the first time in her life, Oprah has structure. Oprah has discipline. Oprah has someone who believes she can be more. She throws herself into school. She joins the debate team. She discovers she has a gift. The gift of words. The gift of communication. The gift of making people feel what she is saying. At 17 years old, Oprah wins a full scholarship to Tennessee State University. At 19 years old, she lands her first job at a local radio station. Her voice, her presence, her gift cannot be ignored. The little girl in potato sack dresses was finding her voice. But the real test was still coming. Oprah moves to television news. She becomes a co-anchor at a Baltimore TV station. And this is where the world tries to break her again. Her producers don't like her. They tell her she is too emotional for news. They tell her she gets too involved in her stories. They tell her her hair is wrong. Her nose is too wide. Her appearance needs to change. They try to make her into someone she is not. And when she refuses to change, when she stays true to herself, they demote her. They take her off the evening news. They move her to a small daytime talk show that nobody watches. A show so unpopular that most people thought it was being cancelled. Oprah Winfrey was 30 years old. Her career looked finished. Her confidence was shattered. The world had rejected her again. But what those producers didn't understand was that they had just made the biggest mistake of their lives. Because what they thought was a demotion was actually Oprah's destiny. Oprah sits down behind that talk show desk, and something magical happens. She stops trying to be a news anchor. She stops trying to be professional. She stops trying to fit into what everyone else wants her to be. She just becomes herself. She laughs with her guests. She cries with her guests. She shares her own pain, her own struggles, her own truth. And America falls in love. Within months, the ratings explode. Within 1 year, the show goes from last place to first place in its market. In 1986, The Oprah Winfrey Show goes national. 30 million viewers tune in. Then 40 million. Then 50 million. The woman they said was too emotional for television was now the most watched television personality in America. But Oprah does not stop there. She starts her own production company. She produces movies. She launches a magazine. She creates a television network. She builds a media empire that the world has never seen before. In 2003, Oprah Winfrey becomes the first African American woman in history to become a billionaire. The little girl in potato sack dresses. The child that nobody protected. The teenager who had nothing. The woman they fired from television is now worth $2.9 billion and has touched more lives than almost any human being who has ever walked this earth. I want you to stop for a moment and really think about what you just heard. Oprah Winfrey was abused as a child. She was poor beyond imagination. She was fired from her job. She was told her face didn't fit. She was told she was too emotional. She was told she needed to change who she was to succeed. And she refused. She refused to become someone else's version of herself. She refused to let her past determine her future. She refused to let rejection be the end of her story. And that is the lesson I want you to carry with you today. The things that make you different are not your weakness. They are your superpower. The emotions that people tell you to hide and suppress could be the very thing that connects you to millions of people. The pain you have been through, the struggles you have survived, the moments you thought would break you forever, are all preparing you for something greater than you can currently imagine. Oprah Winfrey once said something that I believe with my whole heart. She said, "Turn your wounds into wisdom, not your degrees, not your connections, not your background. Your wounds, your pain has a purpose. Your struggle has a reason. Your story is not finished yet." Because if Oprah Winfrey, a poor, abused, rejected little girl from Mississippi, could become one of the most powerful and beloved human beings on this entire planet, then what is your excuse for giving up on your dream? I'll wait. If Oprah's story moved you today, if it reminded you of your own strength, if it gave you even one reason to keep going, then this video did its job. Give it a thumbs up. It lets me know that these stories matter to you. And if you are new here, welcome to Tolaniverse. This is the place where we tell the stories that remind you of who you truly are. Every week, we bring you the true stories of men and women who faced impossible odds and refused to give up, because your story matters too. Subscribe to Tolaniverse, hit the notification bell, and never miss a story that could change your life. I will see you in the next one. And remember, no matter where you started, no matter what you have been through, no matter what anyone has told you, your greatest chapter has not been written yet. This is Tolaniverse, and we believe in you. Person with praying hands.